Who am I to say? Isn't this just the most lovely picture?
Who is this gorgeous creature?
I don't know. Just somebody on the internet.
Just stunning.
Yeah. Yeah, she's really beautiful. And interestingly, observe that if I am to draw a line down the center of her face, let's see. I know I checked this before. Yep. Observe that, like, pretty much the proportions that we looked at when we're looking at a face from this direction are the same. So what does that mean? Here, I'm going to draw this, and I have another one. Here, let's kind of go from here. I have another one for when this one messes up. If I find the halfway point, 1, 2, yep. So remember, exactly at the middle of the eye line. So just like all the other portraits we've done, the other one portrait, Stacey Abrams, who we did last week, if you remember correctly, halfway was the middle of the eye line. If I divide it again, yep, nose is in the third quarter of the face, right here. There. Right? And basically the mouth, the bottom of the mouth is in the, if you split the last quarter in half, that's where the bottom of the mouth is. Just like every other face that we've drawn, which I find really fascinating. Hi, Addie, how you doing? I find it interesting that faces can be so different, so quote unquote beautiful, so ugly, so this, so that, and yet everything is basically in the same places. Do you not find that mind-blowing? I find that completely mind-blowing. I find it mind-blowing that basically features are in the same place. What does that say about pretty and ugly? It says that there's like not that much difference between pretty and ugly, which I think is a very profound fact. I don't even like the word ugly. I don't even really believe in it. I think it's absurd, but you know what I'm saying. The last, let's see, I'm going to draw. So I'm going to divide the line across at the middle, right? From here to here, and you'll see one, 2, 3, 4, 5 eyes across, which includes the outer ear. I'll send you a picture of this as well. Crazy. And if I try to check the width, if I want to check the width of this line, this 5-eye distance, here I can see it comes up just a little bit further. Here, I'll mark it with a different color pastel so you know it. Wheels. Let's do that again. So remember, I'm checking here. Right? That's where this line, this little orange line right here, this little orange mark is the width, is the same as the width of the face at the halfway point. So remember, Mariana, we did something similar to this yesterday when we were doing our teapot, right? We did the same halfway, 3/4 measurements. We checked the width against the height. This is a really good way to start things. So as usual, I'm going to say, you can kind of randomly decide, oh, let's do this over here. We don't start with a circle. We're going to start with this little cross where all the features are, right? A little graph here. I can make this as big as I want. Obviously, I've made it bigger than her face, right? But I know the proportions are going to be the same. So I can still, maybe I've been a little off on my proportions. I can usually guess them pretty well. Yep, this is halfway. I know this because I kind of guessed and then I checked it, right? I have my thumb down here. I have my top of my pencil at the halfway point. I've got my thumb down here, so I can just come up here and check and see. Yep, that's about right. I can divide these in quarters. Let's see. Go. Yeah, that looks right. This is quarter point, and then I can just take this measurement and come down here. Yep, these should all four be the same. 4. So this is divided into equal quarters. And just because I want to locate where my lip, the bottom lip is, I'm going to divide this last quarter in half as well. So let me see that. Before I see anything else, I want to see this. Yes, you can text me, Addie.
Oh, I found a way to put it on the chat.
Oh, great. Okay. Perfect. Let me, you can send it either this way. Here, hold on. I'm going to pull this down. So what I want to see is this line. I don't care how big it is, but I want to see it divide. I want you to define a line and divide it in half, in quarters, and divide the bottom quarter in half. That's what I would like to see. I solemnly swear, just kidding, you guys. I'm so sorry. I'm so
I'm
giving you
swearing.
such a hard time. I'm sorry. It's too easy to tease
I'm
you.
solemnly swearing, Leah.
It's just so
And
easy.
I'm not doing it out loud because Addie's here.
She's swearing, all right. Yeah, I'll tell you what, as we're getting into it, I will show you the most adorable video I found on Instagram today of a porcupine jogging. It's really cute.
A porcupine jogging?
It's so cute. The Oregon Zoo has the best videos ever. Okay, let's see, Melissa. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so Melissa, the only thing I need to see is this last final quarter down here divided in half. And then you kind of jumped ahead, but I'll take it. 1. Perfect. Absolutely perfect, Melissa. Except for that. Give me one little halfway point here, and then you're in good shape. Okay. Mariana, 1, 2. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, Mariana, this has got to get a little bit wider. Let me draw this line just to show you guys. This line is going to come up to here. So you want it, it's a little bit higher than the 3/4 point, the width. So I'm going to see how I'm marking it here, like this, a little bit higher than the 3/4 point. And then I can come here. I can check it. And then I'm going to check it here to here. Yep. And remember, nothing goes outside except maybe her earrings. Nothing goes out, none of her face goes outside these lines. This is the absolute. This is the absolute, like, outside. No ears outside the line, no face outside the line. Everything is contained in here in this unit. And then if you want to, of course, you can divide this into 5. I'm kind of guessing right now. 1, 2. It's going to have to be a little bit bigger. 3, 4. Oh, maybe not. Like this. 1, 2. Oh. 2, 3. One, 2, 3. Shut the door. He's upstairs. Oh, no, wait. He's in the studio. Girls, give me just a second. I'll be right back. He was being kind of uppity. You know what? He's in the house. I'll get it. It is, senor. It is. All right. Let me double check my measurements. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's about right. So now I know my eyes are here and here. Right? I know my nose, the bottom of my nose is right here. I know the bottom of my mouth is right here. Notice I haven't really shaped the eyes yet. However, I can sketch in these because it helps me find my nose, the shapes of my nose. If you remember correctly, the edge of the nose lines up with the inside of the eye. She a fox or a pig?
Fox,
Fox for sure.
in all senses of the
In
word.
all senses, I know she really is quite beautiful. And notice that this line is kind of above the bottom. That's why she's a fox, right? So we know the nose kind of comes up like this a bit. All right. If this is the bottom of the bottom lip, here's the middle. Notice that the middle line of the mouth, and notice lines up with really the kind of inner edge of the iris. And then observe. I know I'm not getting into super details, but I am showing you, and then observe that the lip comes in. It doesn't come all the way to the edge here. There's a little dark edge here. So as I'm shaping the mouth, I don't want to make it too big. All right, I'm going to stop here. We'll get into other things, but I want to see where you're at. It's so tempting, particularly with a beautiful human like this. Let's see, Maddie. Yeah, perfect. Looks good, Addie. Jean, I don't think this is exactly halfway. I think it needs to come down a millimeter. I know that doesn't set your center line, Mine goes really through the middle of the eye line, and yours is
Okay.
going over the top of the eye line. That will make a difference in your measurements.
So the measurement for the width is that yellow line above halfway up the forehead, right?
Yes, this one right here.
Yeah,
Make it a
okay.
little star. How's that? That's the width. All right. So notice the rough cut. Notice how rough and how loose. We want to get right in and draw this beautiful human, but we can't until we have our roadmap in place. Things are still going to change here, but the other thing I want to really keep in mind here notice that the face kind of goes straight down till right below the ear before it turns in. It's not like a perfectly, and there's a little kind of straight line. Let's see if I can mark that out. Really show you what I mean. It's like straight, here to here, here to here, right? Straight, straight, straight. A little bit out, slightly out, and then straight up and down. Right, so it's not this, and observe that the ear comes right up to the edge of this. So when I like to find this, here, hold on, let me take a look at this. Okay, Melissa, you're in good shape except for you've made your lips go all the way to the edge here. Can you see how I did that?
Yeah.
Okay, they're smaller.
Okay.
So this little center line, it comes out a little bit.
Oh, the line comes out, not the
The
lip.
center line comes out a little bit, always. That's because there's a hinge where the lower upper and the lower jaw meets. So this is kind of this little triangle shadow,
Okay.
right? That extends beyond the meat of the lip. Also yeah, well, we'll get there. Good job. So the way I like to find this bottom line is to find this line first. It's usually about half an eye width. In this case, it's a little bit more than half. So this is the edge of her face. And the ear comes here. Got it? So the face comes down about like this. I'm going to bring this out just a little bit further. Right, so this is where the face comes down. It probably even comes in a little bit more, which I can tell, yep, comes in a lot more. Because my nose, the width of my nose is exactly one width to the right. That's where the face kind of ends. So yeah, here. Oh, look how off I was. There's a little bit more face on this side. I think it's right on this side. So you see where the face starts? Comes in from this outside line. No, it doesn't feel like it, but it really does. The ears line up with the bottom of the nose. Nobody ever believes that. Right? These ears come in. Ears come in. I might bring this out just a touch. So this is how I like to start the kind of outside shape of the face. Locating these things first, and then observing these little straight breaks. Notice this is not right. This is not like a straight, and I might even have to bring this in. I'm also going to check and see. Actually, that's in pretty good shape. I'm using the nose to even check the width here. This needs to come in a little bit more. I'm still probably going to adjust this even more. Yeah, that doesn't look right. But I just kind of want to get a general idea of where that is. And even I'm saying to myself, how is it possible that, you know, this like bends so much, this is so short, yada, yada. Let's see. Okay. You're in good, looks like you're in good shape, Jean. Yep, everybody's doing great on the measurements. Good job. Once you got that, then we can see that the inner hairline comes up like really. Her hairline's very high. It's really at the halfway point. That's where the hairline comes in of the first quarter. And notice it also has kind of a shape. It's more like I'm working around a notepad, so sometimes I literally cannot see what I'm doing with. Starting, at least it's looking kind of feminine, not exactly. The last lines, notice her hairline, her ears kind of stick out. A little bit outside of her hairline. So her hairline kind of comes in here. Like this. Up. It comes out a little bit. Out. Yeah, bring this down a little bit. See how I'm kind of adjusting little tiny bits. I can fix this later. I can bring this out. I can bring this in. I can scoot this a little bit this way. So I haven't even really gotten to, so this is your map, right? This is really the map we're trying to create for ourselves before we start getting into detail. So I want to see you guys here. Don't try to jump ahead. Don't try to do the eyes yet. Just wait until you've got, you're sure you've got everything in the right places, and then we'll talk about. I'll demonstrate again doing eyes. I'm really proud of you all. You're doing freaking awesome. after 3 months of doing this, I promise you it'll feel more natural. See this little chubby, so I think I'm gonna need to bring in her face even more. We'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's all right. Okay, Melissa, hold on. You did it. I think you did it again. Hold on. I think you brought the ears outside. Let me double check. You know that's right. 1, 2.
I think you have to make the chin more angular.
Yeah, and I think you need to bring in, so you're also you're also bending this in. Just bring this a touch. Actually, you're doing great. Because I want to say you did not make the mistake that you made the first 2 times. You're totally avoiding that.
That's good.
Which
That's
is progress,
good.
right? So
Yeah.
so observe here. The nose, show the edge of the nose. So the edge of the nose lines up with the inner corner of each eye. So just get that line. Then check this width here, right? She's basically one nose to the right. And this line is kind of straight. It isn't bending yet. Doesn't bend until it gets down here. Oh yeah, that looks better. See how I kind of slyly corrected that? So your ears, you have kind of bending in like this, but that's not really happening. It goes straight down until you get past. You'll see I adjusted a little bit too. She has a slender face. It's easy to thicken it a little bit. It just takes a kind of millimeter to thicken it. Give me 1 more second. I got to check one other thing.
Are those clients?
Yes. All right. Also, Melissa, the other thing I can see is that you have your nose coming down below this quarter point. It really, if you look at, here's the quarter point of the nose, right? So everything is above. Good job. It's just amazing, isn't it? How small, how minuscule the changes are between correct and not correct. Isn't that weird? I find it so strange. I am also kind of still shaping her face. This can also happen later on as we're shading. We can kind of, you know, carve things in, bring things out. Let's see. Okay, Addie. I'll look at Addie's first. So Addie, she's leaning a little bit too much on this side. You're kind of leaning in like that. Right? Looks like your head's a little bit crunched.
Yeah.
Square it up on the top. And then bring it out. And then straight down. Right? Also, I think, let me see, 1, 2. All right, I also think you have her nose a little bit too low. This is the quarter point, this is right, the halfway from here to here. Everything in the nose should be above. And then the third thing, Addie, take a look here, measure the width of the nose on either side. You'll see the cheek really ends one nose width on either side. So you'll need to bring the cheek in a little bit. All right, Jean, I'm going to take a look at yours now.
I'm fixing the nose because I heard what you said to Addie.
Yeah, everybody brought her nose too low. I think really look at what's happening here. This is all floating above. Also, let's see, Melissa. Bring the nose up, Melissa, above the quarter point.
Okay.
It's hanging below. It's going to cause you problems.
So it's too low, right?
It's too low. It should be above this quarter point. Yours is hanging down here. You see, that's kind of squishing everything. It's looking better though. One. Oh, wait,
Okay.
hold on. 1, 2. Oh, problem. Okay, 1. Now, bring your hairline up just a little bit, the top of the head.
Me?
Yeah, Melissa, here,
Oh,
I'm going to
Melissa.
show you what I mean. I'm checking.
Okay, so bring the hairline up.
Yes, you have, or bring her chin up just a touch. You're not exactly halfway. If you go from the top to the bottom, you'll see that your top line is a little bit smaller than your bottom. So you either need to bring this up a little bit so these two sides are equal, the top and the bottom. You need to bring this in up a little bit.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then observe that by the ear, things are going straight down and then they bend in. It's not a simple curve, but better, getting there. All right, Jean, and I think that same thing. Double checking. Sometimes we drift outside our lines. So Jean, I'm going to tell you the same thing. Really, the nose width is the same.
I've
as the
already
width
fixed,
of-
I've fixed the nose.
So look at this. Check this measurement, okay? The width of the nose on this side is literally the edge of the cheek. Width of the nose on this side. So you're going to need to bring this in further to the right, further to the left.
Okay.
Good job. It's so hard. Mariana, where are you at?
I'm struggling with the mouth now.
You're struggling with what?
With the mouth.
Why don't you send it to me? You probably made it too big. I observed that you do that a lot.
Yeah, it is too big.
Send me a picture. I'll show you how to fix it. I'm really not trying to shred you guys. I'm really trying to help.
No, I'm gonna go part of it. Yeah.
You do it, babe?
4:08. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so there are two problems, Mariana. One is that your nose is too low. You need to, the nose, the top of the nose, the bottom of the nose starts on top of the quarter point. Erase these dark lines. They're not really there. She's a fox. So you have her drawn like a pig. Let me show you what that's like. That means that these things line up with this. They do not. Her little sides of her nose, there's a little triangle from the outside. See that? Try to draw a straight line across. The edge of her nose on either side rises up quite high. So put this in the right place and then you'll be able to do the mouth. Also, your eyes are sitting. Really, this is the halfway point right through the middle of the eye. You have your eyes sitting on top. Bring them down a little bit. We can fix that later though. Everything else looks pretty good. So I should be able to draw, this is my quarter point. I should be able to draw a little triangle up from there. So many things. Okay. So over on the side here, I'm going to do one eye. I'm going to do it over here. And then I'll do it again on the other side for whoever is kind of not caught up. If you remember correctly, eyes, I want to do this bigger, down here. All right. We do not draw an almond shape for the eye, right? That's not what's happening. In reality, what's happening is the top of the eye is curved. The bottom of the eye is more straight. Maybe I should even do this bigger. I'm going to do it again. And I'm looking at her eye really when I'm doing this. So it's definitely curved on the top. It's much straighter on the bottom. These curves aren't the same. This does not look like that. Right? So that's part of it. Remember, there's this little light lid line across the bottom. And there's a little bit of a tear duct for the eye. Here, we're going to keep this lighter. And then the iris, her eye kind of comes down a little bit like this. When I put the iris in, I'm also looking at the light white shape here and the white shape here on either side. I'm going to heavily darken this upper lid because it's got lashes on it. I'm going to really darken the outside edge of her eye. And then I'm going to lightly shade in the top of the white on either side. Because actually the top lashes are kind of shading this light area. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put there's the reflected lights are kind of in, so I'm just going to put them in here as kind of two circles and work around them. So it's pretty dark here where the pupil is, working around those circles. And then it gets kind of lighter as it comes down here. Isn't that crazy? All of a sudden that eye looks for reals, doesn't it? So it's dark up here. You can't really see the pupil. Pupil kind of bends down, it's dark. But on the outside, the bottom edge of the eyes, although it's dark, it's lighter down here than it is up here. I might even erase. Slightly shaded here. It's a little bit dark in here. Right. Bye, thank you. her lid line, it's kind of like riding right up. There's a tiny little bit of skin here. It's really right, a very little skin. If you're from Eastern Europe, it'll be the opposite, like me. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is get that shape right between the upper lid line. Uh-oh, let me move this out of the way. Remember, one of the most telling signs about people. So I'm willing to do this again. You can watch me, then try it. Then watch me again. So I'm now sketching in this shape. And I'm almost and you see how the eyebrow comes down at a point here? There's the eyebrow. A little bit more shaded here. So there's eyes for you. Isn't that crazy? Oh, damn it. Sorry, my little escape artist got out.
Sneaky little rat.
He is sneaky. Getting better, Addie. 1, 2. Try doing the eyes, Addie. Try doing the eye. Had to dive on him. And if you guys want, I will. Do you want me to do that again with the other eye? I am happy to demonstrate that again. Why don't we wait and you let me know if you want me to do that again. Okay. Jean, you gotta bring the nose up above. The nose comes up above the quarter point, right? The edges of the nose. You've created a pig nose. Let me show you guys what I mean. What I really mean is this one. That's where the edge of the nose is. Here's where the quarter point is. Right? This nose comes up like that. That's the shape. It's not like down here, which is how you're all drawing it. That's not what's happening. That's a pig nose. It's like this. Different shape. Gotta bring it up. Also, Jean, erase your bottom line here because it's too strong. So
Yeah.
watch how I do this on a small form. I'm really looking at the shape I'm looking at how it steeps up, it comes down, right? And then I'm lightly, very lightly drawing in that bottom. I might even,
I'm adding a little makeup on her.
no, that's not how it works. You solemnly swore, Jean. So, and then pay attention to the whites, the shape of the whites on each side. I can see that her upper lid line kind of dips down a little bit, which what gives her that very exotic look. So this line is a little bit shorter than this line. So lighten that. Lighten this almost straight line across the bottom. Then add in your whites. In fact, if you want to put anything in, put this kind of like second line underneath the iris about there, and then let it be. Right? It gets a little bit darker here in the eye line. It's slightly shaded in her tear duct. It's super dark here because on her top, on the top lid, and then really key is this line that kind of comes, her upper lid line, which kind of hugs the top of her. By the way, why does her eyebrow dip down like that on the left and the right? You'll notice it does it on both. Why does
Is
it?
it the curve of the plane of the face?
Yes, A+. Exactly. This is the side of the face, everything from here. Yep. In fact, I can see I made her eye a little too big. I was getting into how beautiful, so I'm kind of nipping it in a little bit. I'll demonstrate it another time as we get into it. My God. Well, yeah, we have another hour, so we're in good shape. Eyes are really fun. I mean, I get why people want to do them first. I totally get it. They've got all these aspects to them. Be right back. was everybody's day? Mariana had a shitty day. She talked all about it. We're not going to put it on the recording. Anybody have a good day or a bad day, or how'd it go?
Had a busy day, but it wasn't bad.
Good. You liking this new company, Jean?
Very much.
That's awesome. Would you like to see me do the other eye? Let me know.
Diane.
If you want to, if you're feeling like it will be helpful, you can absolutely always come in and kind of, I'm gonna thin out her ear a little bit on this side because I'm doing this. You can always kind of darken the hair. And as I've said, one day we're gonna do a person who's got gray hair so you can see what I mean, but unless a person has, you can mostly just darken. And that helps. Mostly our hair is darker than our skin color, no matter what color we are. The only exception is if you've got gray hair, and then often the gray hair is like lighter. Even blonde hair is very often darker, unless it's like bleached platinum. You'll see, like Melissa has beautiful blonde hair, right? Like you can see, even Melissa, if you look in the mirror, you'll see that even your blonde hair is darker, particularly where it meets the base next to your skull, next to your cheek here.
Oh yeah.
It really is. It's like, so really the only time this is not true is sometimes that beautiful you know, that beautiful white hair. Let's see. Okay, so Addie, do two things. Number one, darken a little bit here, and I want you to erase the bottom eye line. We really can't see it. If you look really closely, you'll see you can't really see a dark line where most of her bottom line is, eye is. The only place you might want it a little bit is kind of right here. And then I have a little dark line here that comes down below. See, there's like a little light space here. So
Yeah.
get rid of that lower space. It's mostly, the reason is that if you look in the mirror, you will see, let's see if I can show you this. I think I'll take a picture of my own eye and show you. If you look at your own eye, oh, my eyes look so old. This is kind of a, wow. Terrible. I really love you guys because I'm going to do this anyway and show you because it shows what I'm talking about, but it looks terrible. There we go. Take a look. Can you see this little pink edge here at the bottom?
Yeah.
That's because, and everybody has that. So you can see, I can't really see, right? It's kind of light here. If you wanted to get really hyper realistic, which you guys are not there yet. Look at how my eye is sort of darker up because I have slightly lighter eyes than she does, but it's still dark around the edges. It's darker at the top, also darker shaded in my white section, and it's lighter around the bottom.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's happening with everybody's eye. Less is more. it going, everybody? I'm gonna send him in. Let's see. Oh, Melissa, better job than any I have seen so far. Great work. So observe the shape that's happening here. So notice that notice that the eyebrow comes in a little, extends out, and the eye comes in a little bit. If you were like drawing boxes, it kind of would look like that. And like this. Nice work.
Okay.
Nice
Oh,
job on that eye. See that? So it's, you have it kind of going, bending.
yeah, it's not
So
bending. It's like
your preference is, so my preference
two
is almost,
caterpillars.
yeah. They're just bending. And then you're kind of trying to line it up, right? But in reality, if we look at this, the eyebrows kind of, actually, I have mine bending a little too much. If that makes you feel better. I don't have it quite right either.
So they need to bend. They don't want to be too
It's like,
mustaches on her
it's a
face.
sharper bend. It's
Okay.
not, so in all cases with you, that where you're running into problems is this trying to curve things that are actually a little bit more geometric. See
Okay.
that? Yeah. Here, I'll take a picture so you can really see it. But nice work.
Thank you.
Jean.
No, that
Some
sounded
things,
bad.
wait, it looks good. Some things look good, and I gotta say, actually, much better. The nose is not wide enough, right? It really does line up with the inside edge of each eye. Really, the nose, if you look, is the same width as the eye.
Yeah.
Okay, and the way we check that is to line up this with this edge. And then her eyebrows are really much bushier. Really look
Yeah.
at
Well,
this.
yeah, I just started them. So.
Yeah. Once you get the nose the right width, you'll be able to get the cheek the right width, right? That's gonna be huge. Eyes look good though. Everything's looking good. It helps to darken things, doesn't it? Even if we don't, I'm like, I kind of have a little bit of that. Kind of going out here. She's got these cute little tufts of hair, kind of, not too much, but a little bit kind of sticking out. So remember, we are not going to, even though you think you see these massive nostril cavities that are black, they are much smaller than you think. What's really happening is there's two levels of shadow there, and the darkest part is much smaller. It's just kind of like here. The rest is lighter. So as usual, but I'm almost feeling like I should. Let's see. Right, we're going to do most of our work by shading the nose lightly. It kind of shades on. This is way too dark. Even. It kind of is shaded here. Oh, I need to bring her eyebrow out a little bit further. There we go. Right. And then shaded here. Notice I'm not drawing a hard line where her light part of her nose is, that's not gonna help you. It's gonna look weird. So I'm just really doing this by shading up to the light part of the nose. And shading. Yeah. It's actually kind of like a tiny little light edge here, but mostly down here. This is because there's foreshortening happening on the nose. You just don't know it, right? We think we're looking at a straight on nose, but in reality, there is a little bit of perspective happening with the nose, which becomes much more clear when we deal with the 3/4 view. So we'll deal with it more. Gesundheit.
Thank you.
How are people feeling it's going though? Are you feeling it's happy? It's a little bit better as you're getting more adjusted to these dimensions. Does anybody want me to demo the eye again? Would that be helpful? I don't have to. Okay, tell me if you want me to do that. I'm sort of assuming it might be helpful to see it again.
It couldn't hurt.
All right, I have to draw it anyway. So observe that the top edge of the eye is curved down, but the bottom edge is way more straight and very light. As usual. So there's a nice little turn. Yeah, there we go, down here. So this is pretty dark, right? Because it's her eyelashes. Notice I'm generally not doing individual eyelashes. I'm mostly just darkening. If I wanted to a little bit, I could kind of shoot those out, but I feel like with the face, as always, less is almost always more. Yep, there we are. I'm shading a little bit and bringing in a little bit here. I'm really darkening around the edge of the iris. I'm shading the upper white of the eye and I'm shading lower white of the eye light. I'll add in my reflected edges here, kind of lost them over here. And it's dark up here, but then it really gets lighter down there. And then of course, the real key is getting that upper lid line, which is pretty much hugging her eyebrow. Look at how far her eyebrow extends that way beyond the edge of the eye. Here's that funny little edge again. I think it extends a little bit longer. Let's see. So the space between the eyebrows is probably about one eye. Yep. There we go. Perfect. And her eyebrows are pretty thick. But what she's got going for her, feminine wise, is this nice space between her upper lid line and her eyebrow. That's what gives her that feminine look. A little bit of shading there. A little bit down here too. Okay, and then let's talk about the mouth, because I think you all kind of struggle with this. The darkest part of the mouth is really this center line. So I come in and heavily push that in now. Hers is slightly turning up at the corners, but not too much. And notice her lip does not go all the way to the edge, this outside edge. There's a slight curve. It's like a hinge. Think about like a marionette puppet. And she's kind of got beautiful thick lips, so very kind of dark on the top, but not as dark as that center line. And then look at how light she is on the bottom. So there's kind of like two layers to her lips. There's this outer layer that's kind of a, if this is a 3, this is like a 2. And then there's this one, this very light. Notice that you can't really see her bottom lip, so you can kind of soften that line, just like we softened the bottom line on the eye, on the bottom of the eye. You could kind of soften the bottom of the line here. That's too far. Went too far. It's easy, notice how I'm kind of creeping out from my original dimensions. It's really easy to do that. I'm glad I did that so you can see how easy it is to do that. So don't feel bad if you do it, but be aware of it. It's definitely a thing. You can really also, by the way, see this kind of light upper lip line, which you can just kind of add in there. Bring the nose up just a teeny touch. See how little I need to express the nose? There's very few hard lines. Now I know this is all going to shock you. I'm really not a portrait artist. So there's a lot of things, details that I won't be showing you because I'm not that good at it. But what I am good at is kind of figuring out measurements and dimensions. So there's features. Let's try and get our features in. Then we'll work on shading outside the nose. We'll actually have some time for that. Let's see. Addie. Good, Addie. Nice. Okay. Addie, she's still too wide across here. Check. You'll see. If you measure her nose, you'll see you've got her cheek coming out like here. You have her cheek like coming out here. That's why she looks so fat. You've got this happening. Really, it's just one nose length. Nose part 1, nose part 2. One nose length across, which is really basically one eye length from the edge of the nose to this side and from the edge of the nose to this side. So you can bring this in. This, I'll scooch this a little bit to the right. Oh, sorry. Yes, right. Scooch this a little to the left. Why don't you guys all send where you are? It's okay if you're struggling. My job is to help you.
Can we do an old person next time?
Sure.
It's hard to find any planes interface.
I'll show you where they are.
No, I mean, I know, but
Yeah. They are there. They've just been airbrushed out.
Yes, I agree with Jean. I'm actually drawing with you guys tonight. And only because I got nothing. I got nothing today. I'm so fried. But Jean's right. This is a very difficult reference because the light for this.
Okay, so we have to imagine it.
The lights,
So Jessica,
the light's
I'm
not
gonna
good.
stop you right there. Don't get complicated. I'm gonna stop you
Okay.
right there. I want you guys to know, we're gonna return to my little grid for where the shading is, even if you can't see it, right? So Jean, once again, make the nose wider, please. Make the nose wider and correct. Before you get into shading, Jean, I'd like you to make the nose the correct width, which is literally one eye width. And then make sure that her cheeks aren't poking out too much, which is what you've got going on right now.
yeah, I've already.
I'm not
Once I
going
saw
to,
the picture,
we're not going to get into it very much. I'm going to sketch it for you where the shading is, because even if it's not there and you can't quote unquote see it, it's still there. So I'm sketching it out for you. There is a general sense. So no criticism of the model, please, because the truth is we know how to solve this problem. So I know. Here's where I can really see them. So if I sketch this here. Bring her lips down just a little bit. I'll kind of do a sketch of where her dark and light areas are, because they fall kind of on the same place in the face, all faces. So really, shading is all here. I can erase this strong lines once I get this in. Right, I can soften this. See? Actually, constant. Kind of comes across here a little bit too. Maybe it's too dark. So this is kind of a rough cut shade of the face, and then we soften. So here, Addie, better. See how she's starting to look more better? A little bit more like her. Here, I'm gonna take a picture of this so you guys can see it, because this I find is not a little bit trickier. And that's where the shading of the face is. And if you're still having trouble seeing that, okay. Here is a map of shading of the face. So even if you can't see it, you can still add it in. Now I'm kind of pulling out these lines because I don't want these hard lines there. It's a little bit more light here. It's like dark right under the lip. And then this is really where we get that chance to kind of start to shape, get the kind of final shape of the face. I'm still a little bit wide here. Oh yeah, that makes a big difference. Kind of square across the bottom. By the way, have I told you guys that you are really awesome for doing this? This is one of the, I think this is the hardest thing to do. I think actually figure drawing is easier than this. I'm getting rid of some of my guidelines because they're starting to get in the way. Oh yeah, now we're starting to get her. I think I need to bring her nose up a little bit too. Okay, so everybody feel better about this? I have to bring her nose up too.
Bring the nose up.
Yeah, doing it right now. Oh yeah, that helps. Even I was kind of riding that quarter points a little too close. Oh yeah, that's better. Now, of course, I've lost all my nice shading. I have to go over. Yeah, that helps a lot. Also, she's got this kind of lovely. Yep. Feel free to send it over. It's never too late to kind of correct things when you're at this stage. Notice, by the way, that even though she has quite a slender neck, her neckline still lines up on the one side with the outer edge of the eye and on the other with the inner edge of the eye. So it's thicker. The neck always is than we think. And she has another eye in her chest. Trying to ignore that. Getting better, Jean. The nose. Okay. Nose still isn't wide enough. I don't think. 1, 2. Okay, so look, Jean, at your nose.
Uh-huh.
The width of your nose versus the width of your face. You'll see it's more than one nose width on either side. So your face needs to come in a little bit
Yeah.
to match that. But really what I also think is that the nose needs to come out a little bit wider here and here. Titch wider here and here.
Okay.
Nice work though. Getting better at this. Right? Every year it gets a little easier. I wouldn't say it gets easier, it gets more manageable. Maybe that's the better way to say it. We'll take more manageable. And of course, the point is really just to start practicing. This is just kind of for the masochists among us. Really want to be. Faces is like the ultimate. Once you do this for a while, you'll be good at everything else. What happens is as you start to get the planes in, you kind of start to see, oh, I need to bring the hairline in a little bit more this way. Right. This for me, I need to bring this. Need to reshape this a little bit. Make this a little thinner here. Yeah, nice. And then shade that in. Notice I really don't have to add, I don't have to draw many hairs. I can really just darken for the most part. I don't have to draw like it's kind of more like this stuff. Oh yeah, and she's got a little bit of ponytail sticking out here. There we go. Starting to get there. Notice how reshaping of the outside of the face is still happening for me. I expect it's still happening for you. Observe this shadow on the neck. Ignore the big fat eye there. Let's see. Better. Yeah, Jean, do you see that? Thinning that out a little bit. Now push your shading here more.
Okay.
Mariana. Okay, Mariana, I can tell you right away what the problem is. Although there's things I really like about this. Nose is too low. Bring it up about 2 or 3 millimeters. You saw how I just did that with my nose, so I know you can do it too. Nose is too low. You can see really the length of the nose from the middle of the eye line from here to here is 1 eye length on its side, a little bit more than 1 eye length. If you measure yours, you'll see it's too big, it's too wide. You've got very distinctive mark making though. It's interesting. Oh, Melissa, much better. She's still a bit, what is the, I'm just looking to see what's off here. I think her eyes are too high.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm looking.
And I think her neck is too thick now that I'm looking at it.
Much too thick. Yeah,
It's like
yes.
a footballer's neck.
So bring it in a little bit here and a little bit here.
Yeah, I kind of messed up on this one with proportions, but I'm too far.
I'm just looking to see. Yeah, I think her eyes are too high.
What I think they may be too wide apart too.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. Why don't you see if you can, we have about like 10, we have 15 minutes left. So why don't you see if you can refine that measurement, right? So yeah, there's more than 1 eye width apart. I like your nose though. Everybody's done better. This is good. Why don't you see if you can scoot your eyes together, which will mean everything comes in a little bit more, right? On each side. It won't be that hard. And that will give you the shape of the forehead more narrow. Oh yeah, and the other thing, yep, if you look here, Melissa, is your the biggest issue. If you look here, you'll see, here I'm trying to show you. If you see here on her face, really where her ear starts is one nose width, right? So here's the cheek. It's one nose width if I line it up with the nose. If you line yours up with the nose, look what happens. So really, if you bring your cheek in,
Oh, yeah,
you see what
yeah.
I'm saying? Then that will help you
Uh-huh.
place your eyes. So try that. You've got time. See if we can do it. Mariana, I want you. Oh, let's see. One. Oh, I see the problem. She's not wide enough here. Your width isn't correct here. So somehow you lost it. Or let me double check something. Oh my goodness. Here's the problem. You have her chin coming down. So you elongated everything. You elongated the whole bottom half of her. You've got the bottom half going like this. Somehow you lost your measurements. So, right, this is 1/2, this is 1/2. Your 1/2 is like this. Your bottom half is going like this. See that? So everything is, even though you've got things at halfway points, this half is not the same size as this half. Does that make sense? Somehow you drifted down too far. Probably happened when you were trying to shape her face. You just kept bringing her chin down further, right? Look how easy that is to do. See, I just did it, super easy. I bring it down, then all my other measurements get messed up because everything is coming down too low. This half is not the same as this half. If you check from the very middle eye line, these are not the same size. So you're just drifting off you're drifting off your measurements a little too much. Try and shorten, bring your chin up so that this half is the same size as this half, Mariana. And then I think you'll see where to put your nose in your mouth. So try to do that. Good job, you guys. Oh, Addie, nice. Getting better. Better. Very nice. Push the shading a little bit more. You can get darker with your shading. Super. And bring her neck in a little bit on this side to the right. Right? So when it's going out like this, it makes her look thicker. God, you guys, this is actual massive improvement. And as I said, Mariana, one thing I really want to mention with you, I really like the way you use a brush, and I like the way you use the pencil. Your mark making, your way of drawing has a pretty distinct style. So all we have to do is get you locked in on the measurements a little bit more. I really appreciate it. So there's things I really like about everything I'm seeing you're doing and how you're using the tools. The only thing you really have to work on is measurements. It's really interesting. It's quite a distinct look. I saw a profile that you posted the other day, and I was thinking on Instagram, and I was like, yeah, that you have a definite way, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So just locking in the measurements will make things better. I think that'll just accentuate what it is you're already doing. I'm impressed, you guys. This is really great. Bravo. Yay. Yay. Now, just 1,000 more and you'll be better.
I'm trying to fix it without redoing it all.
It's not about gridding, it's about measuring. That's a different thing.
No, I'm yes, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to redo
Yeah.
it without erasing it all.
Oh, you're gonna have to erase. Jean, this might be the best face you've ever drawn. So
I
the
got,
only
I finally
thing-
got the mouth right. I mean, I got.
You
the
did, you
expression.
really did. And so the only thing I want you to work on the shape of the hairline. And I'm actually gonna turn this upside down so you can look at this upside down. God, watch, when I do it, I'm probably gonna have to correct myself. Turn it upside down so you can see that shape of the hairline. Get it the way it's actually going. It's in a kind of geometric pattern. It's not this curvy round thing. You can do that in the next 10 minutes. Try it. That's really beautiful, Jean. There's some really beautiful drawing. I'm seeing this with everybody, all of you, some really beautiful mark making and massive leaps forward from the time before. So imagine how you'll be. See this shape here? It's definitely not curved. Great work, everybody. I'm proud of you. Hey, Melissa, if you're going to keep joining us, I should talk to you about if you get a pass, it doesn't ever expire and it's a little bit cheaper. So I'll send you information on that. And you can, I know you can sometimes come and you sometimes can't come, but like you could use this for years if you wanted to.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to keep joining us, which I'm hoping.
Yeah,
you
I
will.
want to.
Yeah, then like, let me give you, I'll send you the information, the link to the pass, and then it's $28 a class instead of, 30 each time. And then what you do is you buy it in advance and then you just rent it. You can log in and register for class using your pass. Rather than
Okay.
paying each time.
Yeah, I'll take a look.
I'll send you the details. Why pay more when you can pay less? I also think it's a good idea to test things out and see if they work for you right before you invest. But if it's working for you,
No, I like it.
yeah,
I just
like
have to
it
find
too.
time.
I think you're doing, it is a really good, it is a good way to spend time, isn't it? It's so great.
I just have to play hooky from work and say I'm in a
Yeah, we love that.
because I'm in
You know,
Pacific.
Tal,
I have a class on Wednesday night that's at 6 p.m. our time. It's a mixed media class. Last night, Mariana takes that one too. Look at what we did last night. It was so cute. We did a little mixed media teapot.
Oh, that's
It's, like,
cute.
super fun.
Oh, that is adorable.
Isn't that adorable?
What
I
is
know. I don't
that,
know what it
pastels?
is. What?
What is that?
It's
Painter.
watercolor and then charcoal, a little gouache, and some pastel pencil.
Oh wow, it's all
Mostly
wow.
watercolor and pencil, and then we went over. Mariana should show hers. It's absolutely adorable. She did a great job. Mariana, do you have yours with you?
I do.
Hold it up. Take a picture of it. Or hold it up. Here, hold on a second. Hold it up. Isn't that
Oh,
adorable?
that's so cute. I love it.
Oh, it's great.
That's a nice looking
Jessica.
teapot.
Jessica.
I
my
like the
love.
shape.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, that's
really
wonderful.
adorable. It's
Thank you.
really, I know. So that is, anyway, Melissa, you can use your pass for anything. So that is a 6 p.m. class. Oh, Jessica, my love. Wowzy, wowza. Addie, yes.
Leah,
I want to see. Jessica's actually going to teach at some point a copy a master's painting in oil, and I am totally taking that class when you take it, Jessica. I'm so into that class. I know it's not going to
You know,
be
you don't
very
have
good.
to wait for it to do a master copy.
I know, but I would like to do it with you. That's
Okay. Oh, I
beautiful.
would like to do it with you.
Yes.
Oh my
Um,
god, I love it. That Jessica's yours is so good.
Oh yeah, Jessica's a pro.
I love the white. Is that a pastel or something or?
I work on toned paper because it's my favorite, and I use just graphite and these guys.
So toned
so
paper is, will you take a picture of that? Meaning it's brown, it's kind of like brown or gray. It's not white.
Well, this one's gray.
Yeah.
I have a brown one.
Would you, here, hold on, hold this up for a second. So I'm gonna spotlight you so you can see it. Take a look at this. Hold it up again.
Yeah,
That's her.
So you see the paper is actually not white, so you can use.
Wrong drawing. I thought that was the
Wonderful.
cover.
Wonderful.
Just a Strathmore. Yeah, toned tan.
Oh,
That's more
cool. It's like
toned
a
tan.
gray.
Toned gray, toned tan. So, and then she's using like a couple of graphite pencils, right? And a charcoal pencil?
These are my favorite clutch pencils. I did
Huh.
most of the drawing tonight with a B. Started in HB and I worked with the B because you don't want to go too dark too fast. I start
Nope.
really light
Nope.
and I keep
Ah.
working it
Wonderful.
in layers.
I just
Wonderful.
used one pencil. I'm an amateur. Which
All right,
one
we're
do you
gonna
use?
talk about that. If you want
Yeah.
to, if you
I
want
just use a
to,
graphite.
it's,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
probably
there's
just
all- yeah.
using, all right, so let's talk about that for a second. I'm gonna remove the spotlight and get into gallery view so I can see you guys. So let's talk about that for just a minute. You will notice, so you heard Jessica say the words HB, 2B, right? So I'm looking to see what I have here. So HB is like one of those typical yellow pencils. In fact, I think I did my whole, here it is, right? This is my whole pencil, HB, like a school pencil. But you will notice if you buy a set, so for example, this says B. Actually, maybe I should put this up again so you can see it here. This says B,
Uh-huh.
right?
What is that one for though?
It's just gets, it gets a little bit darker.
Oh, okay, okay.
If you buy a pencil set, you should have a B, 2B,
Hold on, let me write this down.
a 4B,
Okay.
a 6B. You can go get a pencil set online and you can see that the darker it gets,
What about the lighter one?
well, HB is really, oh, Jessica, were you using
I
charcoal?
use an HB. I always start in HB.
But what is the white that you used?
General's charcoal? General's white charcoal.
White charcoal
Always.
pencil, a white
Yeah.
charcoal
The
pencil.
best one out there. It's the one everyone uses. They're
At
cheap. Get 'em.
some point in the next 4 to 5 weeks, I am going to move you guys to charcoal. But I don't want to do that right away. I want us, so I'm going to send I'll send a list out in the next of supplies. I will send you all a list of supplies across the thread of what you'll need to do that. If you've done this class before, you have the charcoal already. If you haven't, I'm going to send it to you so you can get it. But yeah, Melissa, just get yourself a B, a 2B, a 4B. That's probably plenty.
Yeah, I think that would be plenty for right now. I don't want to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
like
yeah. And
10
then I'm
pencils. I don't know what
gonna
to do with them. Like, I got 10 pencils.
yeah, just B means, so the higher the number, B basically means black or bold, right? So
I like the
higher-
light pencil because I don't want it too dark in the beginning. So
Yeah, HB is your one to work light. You'll see that like 2H, you can actually go lighter. You'll also see that there are H's, like you can go 2H, 4H, 6H, or sometimes F, 2, 4, 6, 8. F and H do a harder, finer line. So they don't necessarily get softer as they get bigger. So it's really good to have an HB and then have a B, a 2B, and maybe a 4B. That's probably all you'll need. You'll also notice that as it gets higher up, it actually kind of changes. Sometimes the leads don't mix very well. So if you go from like if you start with an 8B, because there's different kind of amounts of material mixed in with the graphite. So that's why Jessica said what she did about like, I start with an HB, I start with the light one and then kind of go gradually get darker when I know things are happening. Yes, yes, definitely you will like those pencils. I want you guys to hold your, it's 5:30. I want you to, or 8:30 or 7:30 or wherever you are. Or 9:30, I don't know. Hold up your pieces. Let's see them.
You're still
Yes,
You're still on-
yes.
Leah, you're still on speaker view, or do I have to change that?
You need to change that. Yeah.
Oh, much better.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Hey, you did it. Mariana, you did it. You brought it up. Melissa, can you turn on your
yeah,
camera?
I'm
for
gonna
just a
do mine.
second? Hold it up. I want to see everybody's. I want to say how much, oh yeah, baby. Push it in a little bit so we can see it. There we go. I want to say how much improvement there has been in this group in 3 classes. So bravo, you guys. Big, don't you see it, Jess? Big push.
Yep, yep.
Big
You guys are
push
awesome.
up.
This is
I-
hard
it-
stuff.
This
You
is
have
the
to be-
hardest stuff
Yeah.
you could possibly do. You're incredible for what you guys are doing and the way you're pushing through it. Addie, you're never going to get anybody to train you like you're getting this training now. You're so far ahead of everybody around you. The kids around you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Good job. And everybody, I'm appreciating seeing how the marks that you're making with the pencil are so different. Like, it's really quite beautiful. So this is really, really wonderful class. I cannot wait to see what you guys do next week. We will do an old person. Why not? It'll be fun. Great work, everybody. We'll see you soon.
All
And I
right,
have
thank
to
you
say,
so much, Leah.
Yeah.
I did all this with Inkling bumping my arm the whole time.
Hi, Inkling.
We should draw
Thank
the
you.
cat next. We should do the cat.
Inking.
The cat's easy. Except he won't stay still. Take care, everybody. Good to see you. Have a great
Okay.
night.
Bye.
Bye.